Hey everyone, it's Kelly. I wanted to get on here to share with you that I've included my most recent statement in the caption of this video. My hope is that this message brings some clarity to the situation regarding the pending divorce with my soon-to-be ex-husband, Zach Brown, as well as the current employment lawsuit that he has forced upon me. Thank you.
Let's start by saying that this is Zach Brown's ex-wife. We're going to see why they got divorced, why she's making videos trying to defame the artist, and we'll also hear the singer's side and the reasons why he decided to leave her. A marriage that didn't even last a month. Brothers, she didn't even get the chance to enjoy the fame. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment. And without further introduction, let's begin.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly. I wanted to get on here and explain a few things and also update you on what's been happening. You haven't heard from me in a while because I've been afraid to publish anything in fear that it could result in more legal claims being brought against me to suppress my freedom of speech. As you may know, Zach and I are getting divorced, and it has been a very painful experience for me. Zach and I were happily together for years, and we got married last August, and then we held our private wedding party in Nashville last November with our family and friends. And 9 days after our wedding party, Zach unexpectedly told me over Zoom that he wanted a divorce. After he told me that he wanted a divorce, I refused to agree to sign a non-disclosure agreement that would have broadly prohibited me from ever talking about my life or relationship with Zach for the rest of my life. And after I refused to sign that lifetime NDA, that's when Zach filed for divorce back in January. And then a couple weeks later, I was fired from my position as executive vice president of his company. And at that point, he used our wedding party video with alterations and without my consent for commercial gain and to demean my integrity. Zach and his company then sued me for a poem I published, claiming that its publication violated a confidentiality clause in my employment agreement with his company. And they asked a federal court to issue a temporary restraining order to stop me from publishing poetry. And the federal court denied their request, but I am still a defendant in that litigation. Recently, I filed claims against Zach and his company based off of their commercial use of the video taken from our wedding party, including images of me without my knowledge or permission. They used the video from our private wedding party to create the music video for their song Beautiful Drug featuring Avicii remix, using a model who looks like me playing the female lead in the video. In recent press reports about the claims I filed, Zach's team stated that the video was shot in 2018 before Zach and I met, and thus implied that my statement that this was from our wedding party was false. And I feel obligated to set the record straight. The music video for Beautiful Drug featuring Avicii remix includes the video from our private wedding party held in Nashville on November 18th, 2023. But I was replaced in the video with a lookalike model who was cast as a reckless and irresponsible person consuming drugs and alcohol and engaging in very risky behavior. And without judgment of some people's struggles and their choices, the image portrayed of me is not who I am, and
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
We're talking about a situation where they've spent more time fighting over the divorce than they actually spent married. I don't know why it is that artists or celebrities stay in relationships longer than they stay married, but this one ended in record time. Nobody leaves someone in less than a month for no reason. Now, honestly, this could have been solved quickly. Sign the divorce papers, walk away, collect a few million in the process, and life goes on. But she wants to hold on and fight. I won't deny that she has the right to do it, but let's make something clear. This is not a fight for love, it's a fight for status. Yes, status. Think about it. She worked for him, then became one of those girls artists usually have around, until she managed to marry a man who's 47 years old while she's not even 30 yet. Don't tell me that was about love. But let's continue.
The video completely presented me in a false way. I was so devastated to see my private wedding video edited to portray me in a false light, and deeply disturbed by the fact that they were suggesting I was lying, that this video was shot long before Zach and I met. A couple hundred people attended our wedding party in Nashville on November 18th, 2023, and these people know that I am speaking the truth. And for anyone else who doubts that our private wedding party footage was used in this video, I've included a few photos from mine and Zach's wedding party in Nashville. I've also included some comparison photos filed in court of the model and myself. The truth is in the evidence, and I will leave it up for you to decide for yourself. I never wanted my divorce to play out publicly, and I understand that the public has interest in celebrity relationships, and that was just part of what comes with marrying a celebrity. I understood that when I married Zach. But the end of a relationship, especially when there is a huge power disparity between an ordinary, normal person against a celebrity with a large platform and vast resources, is hard enough without being able to speak the truth. And what I cannot leave unspoken is my objection to what I find to be a misleading narrative. All of this has been incredibly painful for me, as I would imagine it would be for anyone else who has experienced this. But I will continue to stand up for myself. To everyone listening, your First Amendment right to freedom of speech is so important, and it's absolutely worth fighting for. To all of the girls out there, daughters, mothers, sisters, and to all of our brothers and fathers and friends, I hope that this inspires you to have the courage and ability to stand up for yourself. Your freedoms are just as important as anyone else's, and we all must be able to speak our truth. If you would like to read more about the case, you can go to the court website to review the documents filed in these lawsuits. I believe they are or they will be available for public viewing. And since day one, I have stood firmly in my position of transparency. Public figures and celebrities shouldn't be treated differently, especially on matters that they made public in the first place. Thank you for listening.
Stop it. Get some help.
Said, I'm not saying her story is completely false, but come on. You got involved with him more for the benefits than for love. The man is more than 20 years older than you. That video you're talking about is a music video, a song that became popular like many others by artists, where they're telling a fictional story. What I see here is that what really hurt you is losing that lifestyle. Let's be honest and look at the facts. What hurts her the most isn't losing him. It's losing the life he gave her. You rushed it, girl. You showed your hunger way too early. You should have accepted the conditions, given the relationship a few more years before showing your claws. This man put her on the map. She worked for him, she had a comfortable life, and she held the top position. She wasn't a mistress. She wasn't just another girl. She was the wife. She was the one going on the trips, the tours, the parties, meeting influential people, living a dream life. And overnight, this man shut the whole party down. It's like getting knocked off the top and sent all the way back to the starting line. The dream life got taken away from you. And yes, that hurts. But let's keep going.
Women.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly. I wanted to get on here and share an update with you regarding the lawsuit that my ex-husband Zach Brown from the Zach Brown Band brought against me. So on Monday, just a couple days ago, the court announced that it has set a jury trial date for September 15th, 2025 at the U.S. District Courthouse in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is a very important step toward closure, and I'm very much looking forward to my day in court. For a bit of context, Zach has been dragging me through lawsuits for the last year and a half now, and it started back in early 2024 when he tried to force me to sign a marital NDA during our divorce, which I refused. And a couple weeks later, he used our wedding video in his music video, replacing me with a lookalike model who was engaging in inappropriate behavior, and it was just disgusting. Then in May of 2024, he filed a lawsuit against me in regard to a poem I wrote claiming it violated my employee agreement with his company, Zach Brown Collective. And he even tried to get a temporary restraining order to silence me, which ended up being denied in federal court. And then he sued me again, this time accusing me of corporate espionage, basically Coke versus Pepsi kind of stuff, asking for an injunction against me. Then, after a very long and very expensive discovery process, in December of 2024, Zach withdrew his motion for a preliminary injunction claim and essentially admitted that there was no evidence and no damages. Despite all of this, Zach has kept me tied up in these expensive lawsuits as a means to control and intimidate me, even though our divorce was finalized back in January, so just a few months ago. So why this guy won't just leave me alone, I don't know. This has been an incredibly difficult and expensive and emotional journey that I never asked for, and I hope no one else ever has to go through. But I have to stand up for myself and for anyone who has ever felt controlled or silenced by someone with more power and resources. At our last hearing on May 21st, the judge stated that he isn't going to let anybody bully anybody, and that is why he didn't allow the temporary restraining order about my poem to be granted. And this statement really means a lot to me because it gives me hope that justice will ultimately prevail and that celebrities won't get special treatment, especially in this court. So yeah, I'm grateful that we now have a jury trial set where the judge has said that he will not be closing the court and that it will remain open to the public. And I look forward to the opportunity to prove that what I learned during my personal relationship with Zach cannot be silenced and to finally put all of this behind me. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has listened and supported me during this terrible process. Your kindness and encouragement mean the world to me and mean more than I can articulate. And I just want to say thank you. I will keep you updated on what happens as we move forward, but I just wanted to say thank you for being there for me.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
See why I say this is all about seeking recognition? She's looking for a chance to become famous through him. Let's be honest. Their marriage lasted 9 days, and the divorce has already lasted longer than the marriage itself. What really bothers her is having to sign an agreement where she can't publicly say she's Zach Brown's ex-wife. I get it to some extent. Maybe the greatest achievement of her life was once being his wife, and the idea that nobody will ever know. That's probably what really hurts her. Women often fall for a man through admiration. If a man has money, health, and above all status, that woman will love him, especially for the status he gives her. And that's exactly what hurts her to lose. Because at no point have you heard her mourning the divorce itself. The only thing she complains about is not being able to keep the status of the ex-wife and having to fade away into history.
Biggest update yet. I'm here to share with you guys the most important update in regard to the lawsuit that my ex-husband, Zach Brown from Zach Brown Band, forced on me. So yesterday was a huge day. The federal judge issued an order declaring that Zach's contracts, the ones that he's been trying to use to silence me, are in fact unenforceable as written. The judge made it very clear that celebrities do not get special treatment and that they are not above the law. This means Zach Brown is now 0 for 3. The TRO against me, denied. The preliminary injunction, withdrawn. And his contracts, unenforceable as written. Zach's choice to drag me through lawsuits and use his PR machine to spin false narratives about me has only resulted in a loss after loss for him. But I know you guys know the saying, karma is the... I have linked and attached the court orders for you guys to see for yourself. And as you know, I'm looking forward to our trial on September 15th at the U.S. District Courthouse in Atlanta, Georgia, which is in fact open to the public. And to everyone who has stood by me and supported me, thank you so much. This is not only a huge win for me, this is a huge win for the truth.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Hey everyone. I am here to respond to some of the comments that have been circling about my situation with my ex-husband, Zach Brown from Zach Brown Band. But first, I have to say thank you for the overwhelming support that has come from speaking up about my situation last week. All of your comments and messages have meant so much to me, and I am doing my best to get back to each one of you personally, but I am one person. I don't have some PR team or anything like that. It's just it's me and this. So yeah, thank you for your patience as I get back to each of you. So here are a few things I want to clear up. First and foremost, I have tried to move on with my life, but I can't just snap my fingers and get out of this lawsuit. Zach has forced me into litigation, which means I have no choice but to defend myself against his circus. And here's the irony of all this. So back in May, the judge said at our hearing that he believes this is just one big fat divorce case. And I 100% agree with him. And Zach continues to keep me in this divorce case, masquerading it as an employment lawsuit by repeatedly suing me in order to keep me silent. And this is why this is so ironic, because now that we are going to trial, all of these private matters that he is trying to hide are going to be shared in an open court. And the judge has literally told his team twice that this will happen. Twice. And yes, Zach and I will both have to be at trial. He is a named party as well as his company in this lawsuit, so he is required to be there, and I, as the defendant, will be there as well. Now, I can't say I'm looking forward to this reunion, but I am looking forward to putting this all behind me. So to those of you asking, why is he trying so hard to silence her? Well, get your popcorn ready because you're going to find out on September 15th. Many of you have asked where and when is the trial, and I will repost the court's recent filing from July 14th. But just as a side note, all of this information is available to everyone. The court's website is the best resource for all of the details and information. And it's really important that everyone should know that this is not about bashing anyone, and this is not about the band members. They are incredibly sweet people, phenomenal musicians who have always been like family to me, and I love them. And look, this is not about Zach's new fiance. I will forever be a girl's girl, and I wish her the best. I would just hope that it would be more important to Zach to focus on his new engagement versus trying to control his past. But here we are. And in regard to what you guys might read in the press, it's really important that you fact-checked where you're getting your information from. It's pretty obvious that mainstream media outlets have continued to perpetuate misinformation that has been fed to them from Zach's PR machine. And to the hater that called me a gold digger, come on now, it's 2025. Let's stop labeling women speaking up as that stereotype. And let's also remember that Zach is the one suing me. I don't get anything from this. I will continue to update my website page to keep everything transparent. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Whiskey Riff. They are the only outlet I've seen put out an article lately that actually shared the facts. To those of you who really see what's going on here, I want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for standing by me. Your support just shows that one person's voice really does matter, and I feel incredibly thankful to have yours alongside mine.
This is about fame, nothing more. She wants to stay relevant at the expense of her ex-husband. This is the new trend now. Women making videos attacking their ex-husbands just to grab attention. Because that woman, I'm almost certain, was going to get money in that divorce. If she truly cared about him, she could have walked away without trying to damage his reputation. But she wants fame. This isn't about a music video. This is about being able to write a book, give interviews about having been married to the artist, staying relevant even if it means damaging this man's career. That's how I see it. Because did you ever hear her talk about the good times in the marriage? The happy moments? Because I didn't. But let's see Zach.
I am divorcing Kelly Yazdi. I had asked her to keep our relationship a secret, but the trigger that brought our relationship to an end was that confidentiality agreement. We met at my birthday party in 2022, shortly after I proposed to her on a trip. In 2023, we had a private wedding in Nashville. At that time, I wanted everything between us, including our private life and business dealings, to be kept low-key. so I had her sign an agreement. She, however, felt that the agreement was extremely unfair to her. This angered and disappointed me. After that, she wrote a poem alluding to our relationship and used our wedding video for inappropriate purposes. This violated our agreement, but she tried to justify it, so I decided to sue her. I always wanted to protect my rights through legal means. However, she publicly portrayed me as someone who represses and abuses power. The media made her the focus, and I became the one being scrutinized and blamed. Now I just want the court to thoroughly investigate the whole situation and restore the dignity and protection I deserve.
For that woman, being able to say she's Zach Brown's wife seems more important than the relationship itself. If she truly loved him and wanted to be with him, she would have signed the confidentiality agreement. What hurt her wasn't that he left her. We already saw the reason he left. She didn't want a private relationship. Women usually don't like signing non-disclosure agreements or prenups because they know it limits their ability to profit from a man's work or his status. She knew the marriage probably wouldn't last, so she wanted to secure the benefits, writing books, giving interviews, maybe even building a career out of it. She's not the first woman to do it, and she won't be the last. This man is many years older than her. This wasn't about love when she got married. She doesn't want to go back to the life she had before. She wants the recognition that comes from being his wife. And that's why marriage is becoming something dangerous for men. Because when a marriage that didn't even last a month turns the divorce into hell for this artist, it makes you think twice. Remember that, men, when you're about to sign that contract with the devil. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Do you think she truly loved him, or does it hurt her more to lose the status he gave her? Why do women always want to show off the fame built by men? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video on the wall.